Alright, g'day boys and girls. I thought I'd run everybody through our rooftop setup today. We've got a little Quintrex Dart HDW 370, which is an absolute ripper of a little boat. We love it. Sitting on a custom boat loaders, which is a Perth-made product from a bloke named Cameron down in Kelmscott. It's been brilliant, absolutely faultless for us, and it's a mean bit of kit. There's only two in the country that you'd want to go with, and I'm been really happy with this one. So do your own research, but this is the way I'd want to go. We'll run it all through for you, show how it all works, show you our trailer setup, the motor, the lot. We've learned a few things along the way, so we'll share that with you, but we've got it pretty down pat now and we really enjoy it. I'm Brent, this is Cal, and together with our son Bear and dog Jazz, we're travelling Australia. Come and join us for our reality. So you can see the way that the Tinny sits up there nicely on the top of the 200. We've got the custom boat loader's got a couple of different locking brackets here that hold it on. You don't actually have to have the straps on it, but I always run them on the highway. One at the front, one at the back. All the ropes on the custom boat loader are rated, I think, 800 kilo each, so it really shouldn't go anywhere. Everything I've got up under there is actually strapped up and holding it out of the way, which means I can still load stuff on top of my roof rack as well. And you'll see the way that the boat comes up, it actually clears it, so you could put a swag or anything up there. We don't carry one at the moment, but it's plenty of room if you wanted to. So I'll come around and have a look at the back. The loader is super simple to operate. You've just got one 12-volt cable, so this one's hooked up through our ignition, so we've got to kick the car over, and then one wireless remote control, which is simple as up and down. There's really nothing to it apart from putting in your stopper at the back. Just goes in the tow hitch, it just sits there, you don't need to lock it in, and the boat will come down and rest on that as it flops down. The beauty of the wireless remote too is you're not confined to one area. You can walk around, check things, move it as you go. So that's it, off the roof. Piece of piss. So one of the things that you've got to be super conscious of is the weight that you're carrying. This boat itself, it weighs in at about 86 kilos, I think, from the factory, just the hull. I've then added a floor, which is another 10 kilos probably. And then I reckon I've got another 30-40 kilos of gear in it, so that adds up real quick. Fortunately, the 200 series has a 200 kilo weight limit on the roof, so we're getting close to it with everything on it, but it actually handles it like a dream. But something to be very wary of: if you have a smaller vehicle, you can't carry as much weight up there, so you might not be able to put all this stuff in it, and you need to be conscious about the type of boat you buy. Don't go buying a big boat and then finding out you can't put it on there. Alright, so one of the big things that everybody has problems with is finding space to store stuff. And one of the solutions that I came up with that I really love that I've done with this boat is storing stuff in it that I can then fold up on top of the roof and it's out of the way. I don't have to think about it, and I know I've always got it there in the boat. So have a quick look here. This is the esky with all of our safety gear in it. It's got my EPIRB, my life jackets, my anchor, everything is stored in that, and it's locked in just by a strap. So up under the seats, it comes up under a couple of the solid bits of the anchor well, and then comes up and around, locked in. It doesn't move. We've gone over all sorts of corrugations with it, it's never moved. And I know, as soon as I fold down my boat, everything's there ready to go. Absolutely perfect for us, and I think some people might be able to use that. The other thing that we found is part of the trailer will easily fit in the boat, and what I've done is just tucked it in between there and the floor, and then I just strap it down. Again, it doesn't move. You need to be a bit more careful with the strapping on this to lock it in, and it keeps it there all out of the way for me. Comes off the roof, pull it out, put the trailer together, Bob's your uncle. So once I'm here, the only things that I have to grab is put the motor on, put the fuel in, put the little battery and the depth sounder in, off we go. Easy.
What about your fishing gear?
Oh, that goes without saying, come on. Fishing gear is obviously stowed away, locked away somewhere else, but all ready to roll. We're pretty happy with the setup now. Okay, so we went with a little Oceanic folding trailer. There's a lot of other brands in that out there that you can get. This is a galvanised steel one, so it's a little bit heavier, about 60 kilo tear weight on it. Your mangrove jacks get down to about 45, I think, from memory, as an alloy trailer. 15 kilos, probably important for some people. We're under, so we're okay. Some of the cheaper trailer, very comparable to a Dunbeer, I think, if you've seen them getting around. They're pretty simple though. It looks like a big pile of parts at the moment, but takes us not even 10 minutes to put together, and you're sitting somewhere for a week, so it's no big deal really. But we'll get to and put it together and show you. Okay, little tip, if you've got any of these little nuts holding anything together that can sit somewhere and vibrate out, do them up tight before you go. It takes 2 seconds, just unscrew them. But I had one fall out, so I learned that lesson the hard way. Literally takes 10 seconds. And it's as simple as that. We're done. I reckon that's probably less than 10 minutes. I'll tell you the exact time. And she's all good to go. Okay, so motor storage for us is on the back of the van. It's the easiest spot. I don't like carrying it on the back of the car unless I have to. We've weighed the van, it actually sits out really nicely where it is here. Couple of things when you're running a motor on the back of a van, they get dusty and dirty. So this little motor cover cost me about 50 bucks, and I reckon it's the best 50 bucks I've ever spent. Very simple, just cord and then zip. And I'll just show you one thing as a bit of a tip for people that do carry their outboards out in dusty tracks. Outboard motors do not have air filters. They don't need them, they're out in the water, it's clean air. But what you do is this one right here, tucked up inside the air holes in the cowling to stop any dust getting in. It just avoids any dust going inside the motor. Look, you'd probably be alright without it, but why not? It takes 2 seconds to put in there and it gives you a bit of insurance. The cover comes off. I use a Quintrex lock to keep the motor there when we're pulling into town and things like that. Very cheap insurance for quite an expensive motor. There's different ways to do it. You can put a padlock through the 2 holders. This one I found is really quite simple and easy, and I actually lock it onto the boat when I'm leaving the boat in the water as well. Apart from that, ready to go. Unscrew it, walk it around, put it on the tinny. Heart of the beast, my favourite part, the little Tohatsu. So this is a 20 horsepower 4-stroke Tohatsu. She weighs in at about 43 kilos, they quote. It's probably a little bit more, 45. It's the lightest 4-stroke in this size in the market, and it's fuel injected without a battery. So no battery setup, it charges itself somehow internally. Don't ask me, I'm not a mechanic, but it literally runs on the smell of an oily rag. They actually downsized the fuel tanks in these now. They only give you a 12-litre tank. And I'll tell you, without a word of a lie, I get 3 trips out of that 12 litres of like decent running around. So it's just incredibly fuel efficient, and it just purrs along, trolls all day, no worries. I love it. I looked at all different motors when I went to get it, and there is not really too much else in the lightweight in this size and 4-stroke that compares. I'm a Yami man, I love Yamis, had them all my life, but they're too heavy in the portables, or not enough horsepower for me. Tohatsu, Japanese built motor, the old 2-strokes have one hell of a reputation to come up against. So I thought I'd give the 4-stroke a go, and I've been really happy with it so far. Mercury's very similar motor, so you know, you could give one of them a go as well, but hell, this thing's been good. Okay, so one other mod that we put on these tinnies, which I think is worth its weight in gold, is these little steps on the back. I did both sides because I knew if I put it on one side, every time I'd go to jump in the other side, so I just went both. About $500 to get them put on, which seems a bit steep when you look at the price of a tinny, but honestly it's made it so much more usable for us. You walk along in the shallows, you just step over real easy with the kids and easy with old people as well. Cameron from Custom Boatloaders put it on for us when he built the whole setup, and tell you what, if you get the opportunity, put them on. They're really, really good. Well, that's it for the rig rundown. I hope you enjoyed seeing what we're running. We've learned a few things along the way around the storage, putting the floor in it. Don't even bother going without a floor. Honestly, these things are a death trap. We fell over so many times and just about did a leg. So just put a floor in it. Like, spend an extra couple $100 and do it. But we love it. It's been such an awesome experience going around the country, being able to go out and see those places that you can't see otherwise. We've had whales coming around at sea snakes, manta rays, we've caught heaps of fish and crabs. Like, it's just awesome. So I'm really glad I convinced the missus to let me have it. And you know, boys, if you need to convince the missus, just show them the end of this, all right?
Now ladies, listen here. If the boys are ever asking for a tinny or a boatloader setup and you're travelling around Australia, let them get it. Everyone loves sitting back at the caravan with the kids while the boys go out fishing. Come on, don't pretend you don't. Seriously, we've had some amazing times in it. We've only got a little one, but he loves going out. We get to show him all the little things on the water, have a great time, get to have a fish, and do heaps of exploring that you can't do with just 4 wheels. So let the boys get the tinny.